Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Deep into the Heart of Wrestling. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me, as always, he's the collector, the protector, my boy, the one and the only, Mr. Roberto Davis. How are you, Robert?
Quite well. As you can see, it's still daylight in sunny Southern California.
That is a plus. I will say this about the daylight in California, out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. We are all dreaming, and we appreciate each and everybody on the west side. And you do it better than me, and Jacob Fatu does it better. Can I get a yada mean?
Yada mean.
There we go. And with that being said, we move over to the Demoness Come to Caress, Take Your Soul, Put You in a Hole. She's the Demoness. Nicola McDonald, hello. How are you?
Hello, everybody, guys.
Well,
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. It's dark, middle of the night here. Raining.
Raining.
Typical UK shit.
Yeah.
Typical UK
shit. Put that
on. And yeah, happy birthday to Bo and Brave. I can't remember when it is, but
yes.
Yeah.
Rocking the Fiend. I like that. I like that a lot.
And I found it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I will say this. Speaking of someone we were talking about, He Dead, we just did another watch through of Brock Lesnar versus Jeff Hardy from Backlash 2002. We're going to talk about both of these two. It just had Backlash. The pay-per-view just came up with John Cena and Randy Orton, and so many great matches. Hard, I know. But let's put it to this forefront. When you think of Backlash, one of the big things that came from Backlash was the debut of the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. And unfortunately, his first victim on pay-per-view would be that young go-hard, Jeff Hardy. Here's a funny fact about this. Jeff Hardy and Brock Lesnar in this match, both of them are the same age, 24 years old. How crazy was it to see two young 24-year-olds and Brock Lesnar and Jeff Hardy going at it?
Good Lord. That just makes me feel old.
Yeah.
You and me both there, sunshine.
Yeah. Definitely. Wow. And it's just wild to think that here we are, 24, 25 years
23 years later.
23 years later. And that match still holds up, and these guys are still out there.
I mean, they're both 47 years of age. Brock Lesnar not so much out there because of reasons. Jeff Hardy, though, is still doing his reasons. And Jeff Hardy, rightfully so, is doing his thing with Matt Hardy, the former TNA Tag Team Champions, as they lost to the Nemeths at Rebellion. So Nick and Ryan Nemeth are now the TNA Tag Champs, which kind of bleh. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, my goodness.
Boo, fuckity ho.
We boo you.
One. So I look at it like this, y'all. So this is around the time period as well with both Jeff and Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar had just signed with WWE. He had been in developmental. Him and Shelton Benjamin, We Hurt People, who's now on AEW as one half of the World Tag Champs, were the Minnesota Stretching Crew and
old Benjamin Shelton.
Benjamin Shelton. I knew you were going there. Benjamin Shelton. I was hanging.
I'm not Benjamin Shelton.
No, we're not Benjamin Shelton. The Minnesota Stretching Crew and OVW. What a class that was in 2002. Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, all of them. My goodness gracious.
Batista, wow. That's a name I've not heard for a while.
Yep, exactly. That's the thing. You have so many of these people that were in this class, and Brock Lesnar gets called, former NCAA heavyweight champion. So he's beating up the likes of, here's the list before we even get to this match. Maven, Al Snow, Spike Dudley, DDP, Bang, Molly Holly, the Hurricane, Rikishi, and so many more that they built up Brock so well going into this before we got to the evident Hardy Boys here. So, Roberto, I'll start with you. Seeing Brock Lesnar not only as his youngin' self here, but Paul Heyman, who we just came off a time, if you remember, the alliance was done. The invasion angle was done. Paul Heyman got fired by Vince McMahon live on Monday Night Raw. Jerry Lawler came back into the commentary booth. And then Paul Heyman's away, and then he comes back with this monster on his hands, as JR put it, Brock Lesnar. So your thoughts of Brock's debut, number one, and number two, putting that Paul Heyman man with him, the original Paul Heyman guy.
You know what? It's wild to see because, I think this was around the time I stopped watching, but I do remember watching this. And seeing Brock now versus Brock then, it's still crazy that at his age he can still do probably 99.99% of what he was doing 20 plus years ago. I mean, that kind of just speaks to the testament of the athlete that Brock is. We know what kind of person he is, but as far as athletics go, like it's still wild to see that what he did back then, he can still probably more than likely pull off now.
Oh, absolutely. This is the same man who, before we just had straight up Suplex City and F5s, and that's all it was, what we see now with this generation. This man was doing everything. Yes, the suplexes were there, but he was agile. I mean, who can we forget the Kurt Angle shooting star press? Yes, it was overshot and he almost broke his neck, but we've seen him do it in OVW perfectly. A guy that size, 295 pounds of a brick shithouse doing a shooting star press is absolutely nuts, much like we saw back in the early and mid-90s with Vader doing the Vader salt and the Vader bombs.
I mean, is that really a shooting star? That's more like a goddamn shooting planet. Like
that's the whole galaxies and the constant.
That's a whole lot of men to be coming down at you at an angle like that.
Yes, sir. And I mean,
that man's saying Pluto. That man saw Pluto and brought it back in.
So, Nicola, I'll ask you, because obviously you know the Brock Lesnar of the years going afterwards with the Suplex City and the UFC work and everything that he saw in the MMA world and the wrestling world. But your thoughts of seeing this young Brock Lesnar here in 2002 being accompanied by Paul Heyman, the next big thing, Brock Lesnar?
So for me, Brock, as soon as he came in, I was like, that's a monster. But I also used to watch him with MMA. It was MMA he was in, weren't it?
Yes, UFC.
Yeah, or UFC. Yeah, I was watching that at the same time, so I knew who he was in that sense. But scary. Screw Paul Heyman, by the way. What the fuck was all that about? Pervert. That's all I'm going to say to that one. But Brock is amazing, talented, or was, not now. Now he's a douche. I won't go into that story. But he was a brick house, and he was just, he could break all of them. But like you just said, the age he is now, and he could probably still do half the shit he was doing back then as well. It's madness because of how big, and he just threw people around like they were fucking dolls.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
and he's a big ass doll himself now.
Oh my goodness. Two. I look at it. I look at it like this: the encounter that they had in 2022 when Farmer Brock, as he was known, Farmer Brock with his
Farmer Brock was brilliant. Not gonna lie, that's funny. Oh, and he had really cool tattoo, by the way.
Yes,
that tattoo was pretty thick on his back. That was pretty cool.
Okay, well, all right. Well, before you even get to the irony of the Brock Lesnar Jeff Hardy thing, what did y'all prefer, the back tattoo or do you prefer the sword?
The back.
Yeah, I've always liked the back.
I always said when he first got that UFC, I'm like, that is the dumbest motherfucking tattoo I've ever seen. Then Cody Rhodes got a neck tattoo, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, he was stupid for that, weren't he, really? Who has that on your neck? I mean, I've got 2 tattoos so far, and none of them are on my neck.
Cody said, hold my adrenaline.
Hold my adrenaline. But yeah,
you know what? You could have put that tattoo anywhere on your body. Why the fuck is it on your neck?
I don't know.
And why that? I mean, we all have our own preferences of tattoos. It's, everyone's got our own body's art. You do your own, canvas decorate it. But that, no, Cody, no. Even Rhea Ripley said it was rubbish.
But that's my thing too. It's like I see the sword on Brock, and I'm like, okay, that's different. I even remember when Batista had that little star thing around his belly button. I'm like, why are you getting a tattoo around your belly button? But okay. But I mean, it's one of those things with the tattoo choices. But that back piece always looks sick to me because I'm like, all right, that's a badass dude. He's coming, number one, and number two, the camera angle of him just firing up and then turning around like Paul Heyman is hyping him up. It sets the tone for what we would get into with this match. So. What I have to mention is, because I had to say this with no context, and we saw the video package, as did Roberto Davis. I wanted Nicola as well to take it all in, drink it in, man. Back when Chris Jericho was good. I digress. So
never.
Fuck you, Chris.
I'm joking. He was. Fuck you, Chris. But you were good at one point.
You were good at one point.
Just not now.
Just not now. So Nicola, I said, Nicola, before we even watch this, you got to watch the video package before we get into the match. So. Literally, how we got to this was Brock Lesnar did beat up the Hardys, and then the Hardys came back for revenge. And oh boy, did they come back for revenge. It still holds up to this day. It hurt our souls watching it. Jeff Hardy reared back and hit Brock Lesnar right in the face, and it was so loud. And he talked about this on Chris Van Vliet. He's like, yeah, we told them we're going to lay it in, and we did.
Yeah.
And then Matt laid it in too, and Brock Lesnar did not go off his feet. He went right through the ropes, landed on his feet, did not fall off his feet from the chair shots. And Nicola, I'll start with you. Go ahead, talk about the chair shot.
The reaction to both all of us, like no one saw this, but all three of us, all we saw was all of us go, oh, like you felt it when it happened, and it was just like, oh, that was bad, but funny as fuck to watch, to be fair. Just Jeff going, oh, I see you, Brock, but no, it's crazy back then. Like compared to what wrestling is this day to what it is then, I prefer it back then to what it is.
Well, that's a CTE. That's a CTE. We're waiting to happen there with that friggin' chair shot. My goodness. So
that was bad. That was cool, but he deserved it, to be fair, after what we see through the kids.
So, Roberto, your thoughts on the Jeff Hardy chair shot? Well, Matt's was good too, but Jeff's just.
It was just as devastating, now as it was then. I remember being, I think, 17, 18 years old, and just like thinking, oh, this guy's he's dead. But no, he's standing on his feet like nothing even happened. So it's just like, oh, they couldn't. There was just so much going on in my head at the time. When I saw it live, I was just like, how could they have, pulled that chair shot? That was loud as all hell. Like,
worth it.
He just ate it like a turkey sandwich for lunch. Like, wow.
Like a turkey sandwich.
Turkey sandwich for lunch.
I like that analogy. I like that.
And I like turkey sandwiches, so yeah, we're good.
Oh my goodness gracious! But yes, no. Give me a turkey sandwich. Give me a PB&J. Just give me a sandwich, and I'm happy. Because my goodness gracious, hey, putting it right into the universe. Give me some PB&Js, people.
See, I love P&B, and obviously I'm in the UK, but I make them at home. So yes, fuck yes, I agree with all of you on that.
Fair enough.
Yes,
yes. So
I learned from the wises these two.
The best part about it too is like the Hardy Boys booking at this time was, can I say, Buck Wild, because we go from a time where they originally split the Hardys up for a little bit and they hated the angle they were in. So Survivor Series 01 happens, like we mentioned earlier, where Paul Heyman, everybody gets fired, the invasion's over. The Dudley Boys beat the Hardys in the cage match, winner take all. The WCW tag titles are gone. Dudley Boys are the WWF tag champs. Jeff goes for the swanton off the top, misses, goes through the table, the Hardys lose. Then Matt's blaming Jeff for being selfish, and then they're arguing, and then they push down Lita by accident, and then we get Jeff versus Matt at Vengeance 2001 with Lita as a special guest referee, which I'm going to say right now, that match is the drizzling shits, and I love the Hardy Boys, but it was not one of their best nights in the history of their careers. So
How
Jeff,
many times did they put them two against each other? Seriously, it just got to the point, like when they did the whole, like they got TNA and they were doing it, and they did Matt Willow versus.
yeah,
Why? You did it once. Why keep doing the same crap? They're both together again. Fuck it. Leave them at that. Whatever.
This thing in wrestling where you got to put the brothers against each other.
Yeah, why?
Well, I mean, it worked for Brett Nolan. It worked for Brett Nolan. I will say.
It did.
That's fun.
It did. It worked for them.
But to be fair, for a long time, I only liked Jeff out of both the Hardy Boys, but now I've kind of like, I like Matt a little. Just don't like his wife.
Yeah.
Big Jim and the Heat Man.
Big Jim and the Heat
Man. Not so much.
Who are the other brothers? There's loads of brothers that we don't remember this, or I don't remember it. Oh wait, that never happened. Well, it did in a sense, but
Kane and the Undertaker.
Never, we're not brothers, but yes, half brothers, whatever. No, just Kane the Undertaker. Good God.
Logan would have been really cool if it did happen. Would have been Bray and Bo if everything that didn't happen now. Yeah, it did happen, but not in the sense that we all wanted or they wanted it to.
I agree with you. I mean, but the brothers, but the problem was they did that first feud so shitty because both guys didn't want to do it. Matt was sick before the match, so he was dealing with illness. Jeff wasn't into it because it's like, hey, at the time, you want me to like kind of like be like in love with my brother's girlfriend when I'm like, I don't view her like that. She is like my sister. Like that doesn't work. And that's my brother's girlfriend. So it can't be like having a thing where like she's gonna go more towards me than him because Matt's being a douche. So they completely dropped the storyline after Vengeance. They did a handicap match where Matt beat Jeff and Lita, and then at the Royal Rumble they make up. So this storyline lasted like a month, and it was just like no, because nobody wanted to see the Hardy Boys wrestle each other at the time because it was like ridiculous that you put them in this scenario. So they would get back together. They would do this match with Brock, which we're going to get into. So my perfect thing about how you're going to get somebody over in their debut, Jeff Hardy came out the gate with the drop kick. He came out with the cross body. He came out with shoving him to the post. And then he just takes this beating of belly-to-belly suplexes, backbreakers, getting tossed around the ring like a rag doll, like Nicola mentioned. And then he gets the comeback with the Whisper in the Wind and Swanton, and then Brock bombs, and that's it. I think if you think of a perfect debut in the recipe for it, because this match was originally supposed to be Brock and Matt, but then Matt would get taken out, as we saw in the video package, by the F5 on the stage, which still even hurts my soul as we watched it, as it did all three of us. And that was the end of Matt out of the match. So we'll start with Rob. I'll ask you this. Would you think it would have been better with Brock and Matt, or was it perfect with what we got with Brock and Jeff?
I think it was fine with Brock and Jeff. Personally, I always felt that Jeff was the more entertaining wrestler. Matt's definitely more of a technician, I guess, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, maybe. Not really. I don't know.
I know.
But I think ideally Jeff was the right one to go to because it was more entertaining. There's more entertainment value in Jeff, and WWE is more of the entertainment show anyway. So I think it worked fine.
And we'll go to Nicola for this. Instead of Brock and Matt, we got Brock and Jeff. So what were your thoughts? Was Jeff the better opponent for Brock than Matt?
To be fair, because of what I said earlier, I was a bigger fan of Jeff and always have been. So yes, it was. And like you said, I've always been a bit of an arse when it comes to Matt, but now in this day and age, I can go with it, kind of thing. But no, Jeff was the right decision. Again, Matt has always lived in Jeff's shadow. No disrespect, but you have.
And I like Matt too. And I mean, this was the same year where we got the debut of V1 and the era of Mattitude. But the match.
Oh, I hated it.
Well, come on. You wait. Hold on. All right. We're gonna.
I didn't like it.
Hold on. Rob's getting in his feelings. Go ahead, Rob.
No. I just
no Mattitude. No era.
No. It's just like put it back. Put it back. Just put it back. Why did you touch it? Don't touch it. Put it back.
Come on, you didn't like the Matt facts? Matt loves English muffins. Matt loves to sleep in the nude. Matt got more Halloween candy than Jeff. Come on now, Rob.
Yeah, it wasn't my thing. Honestly, I would say the only time that I ever preferred Matt over Jeff is when he got broken.
Broken.
The broken character was. I thought, like, holy shit, Matt finally found something that works for him.
Can we at least give it credit, though? And I'm going to say this because you're the music.
I will give him credit, but I'm going to say this. I wanted to throw them fucking green beans at him when kids were trick-or-treating on his door.
That's one of my
favorites.
favorites.
I actually said that online as well. I was like, you keep giving kids green beans. I'd literally come to your house and launch them at your head if you get
I remember that. That was one of the I remember that. But okay.
Again, Matt, we love you too, by the way.
Even though
no, that was his greatest gimmick. To be fair, the broken part of him was awesome.
Even though Rob does not want to be a Mattitude follower, Rob does not want to be an MFer, as it was known.
No, me neither.
No,
me neither.
Oh, I'm definitely an MFer. Just not.
Yeah, we all are.
Follower. Yeah, not a Matt follower.
I'm an MFer.
Yeah. Did you at least like the theme though? Monster Magnet. I can slam a tornado.
Yeah, I've always been into it. It's oddly enough, before we jumped on, I was listening to Monster Magnet.
Yeah.
Space Lord, and it was just like, damn, this is a throwback.
Good
Definitely a throwback. Yeah.
I'm not telling you what I was listening to, but I was watching something.
Probably the voices in your head that were screaming.
Yes.
That, but I was also watching the intro when the White Six first appeared. I decided to watch that again, so I was listening to the Bray intro, the whole that key, and now I'm sitting there going,
Mm.
just going with the whole.
And then
I've
there's
got a theory.
Chad Gable in the corner, and he's dead.
And he's just dead like that.
Yes, the voice, yeah, that, and then when they started, that whole thing was still amazing. I've got a theory when they're going to come back, and I don't know if it's right or not. It's Bray's birthday and Bo's birthday, either one. They might appear. Might, because obviously Lexa's back now. So I'm like, I wore the t-shirt. She turned up that same week.
Yes.
Predictable.
People was all happy because Alexa came back and teamed with Zelina Vega to beat Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in the tag. And now she's with. Okay, we'll mention this before we go back to the match because she brought it up. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. We need to have a chat.
Mm.
Did you see her get booed when she went, "If you don't all shut up booing me, I'm gonna leave," and then she just
drop that mic.
It was like watching a five-year-old tantrum from like a 5-year-old girl. I can't get my own way, so we're still mad. And then that came out, and it was like,
it was great. But I mean, I'm curious now to see where we go with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I mean,
we've seen it before, though.
I think so. Yeah, like
when Alexa gave Charlotte that lovely little doll.
I remember.
And then she whipped it up, and it was like, but no, it's fine. As long as Alexa's back, that means Alexa's there, which means the rest are in the. Also, they've been leaving really random like tweets and Instagram posts right now, which is a bit eerie again. I'm like, okay, something's happening. So I keep wearing the t-shirts, hoping they'll appear. Alexa did, and I wore the Lilith one. So, well, hurry up. Sorry. Anyway.
Get back. Come on, Wyatt Six, get back. We say it every show, but it's the truth. And I mean, when you
I'm missing them. We all are, but yeah, they need to come back now.
Well, I will say this. So I'll go back to Rob on this one because we mentioned the No, you're fine. We mentioned the fact that you hate the Attitude followers and the fact that you thought he was a great opponent. But as far as the match goes, the suplexes that made Brock look strong, the hope spots with Jeff with the cross bodies, the drop kick, the whisper in the wind, the near fall on the swanton before he gets KO'd. That was a perfect sequence.
Yeah, and funny in my head, I'm thinking, oh, like they're hitting all the classics. So like, wait a minute, they're not quite classics just yet because this is 2003. But you know, they hit all their signature stuff, and that's always cool. And when these guys hit their signature moves, you know, the fact that Matt hit that whisper in the wind so fucking clean, you know, is still cool to see that, you know, all these years later he's still hitting it. Well, maybe not as accurately, but
no,
still hitting it.
Well, Matt calls Jeff's the Swanton the crouton now because he puts his whole body into it. And there was the story of Private Party not wanting to take another Swanton because it hurts so bad. Jeff's full weight going right on their bodies.
Yeah, I got to imagine 25 plus years of hitting the Swanton. Your back, his back is probably done.
And I know there's all comparisons because he took the Swanton from the great Sasuke in Japan, who did a great little swan dive. But here's my thing. I've always looked at the Swantons because a lot of people have done it. Kevin Owens has done it. Mr. Anderson has done it. The late, great Sean O'Hare, the Shanton Bomb. I'm going to say right now, I love everybody's, but that also goes to me because Sean O'Hare was so agile and with his kicks and strikes, God rest his soul. But that Swanton was another one that was a beauty.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, I mean, even Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a big boy.
He is,
and the fact that he can hit that so clean every time is just like
precision.
Is he back? Yeah.
No, not yet. He's gonna be out for a while.
He's gonna be gone.
Oh no, didn't he have a surgery or something?
Yeah, next surgery.
Him
neck. Nicola, what about some of your favorite Swantons? We mentioned a lot of greats, but I mean, Jeff Hardy really holds up when you think of the Swanton Bomb.
Jeff Hardy's the only one that holds up to me because he's the first person I saw do it. Obviously, I know other wrestlers have done it since then, but he's the main one that's always done it. And obviously, he doesn't do it. Well, he does do it every now and then, doesn't he? But not as much because I think he'd break himself.
Yes. So,
Bless him.
so I got to ask the same question I asked Rob. Looking at the sequence and how great a first match is to make your superstar look really good, the intensity of Brock and what made him be this larger-than-life monster, and then Jeff coming and taking the beating, but also getting those hope spots in. What were your thoughts on the sequences that we got with the match? I thought that was a perfect debut.
Yeah, I think that was awesome. I mean, Jeff is well known for taking immense beatings and somehow still fucking getting up. He's going to get some of the biggest people, obviously Brock, all of them. And he still manages to get up, even though they break him in half. But to see him with Brock and just them backbreakers, holy fucking crap. Ow! All you get to hear me go, ow. Ow.
Ow. I mean, I look at it like this.
He was a ragdoll who looked around that freaking ring. That's all it was. It was just Jeff flying.
It reminds me of when you see, and I'll put this into perspective too, how I thought this was so funny, because 20 years later, when we mentioned Farmer Brock with that haircut, so Roman Reigns and Brock so you had Roman and Brock feuding at the time, and Jeff Hardy's getting an interview, and then he's like, because Brock Lesnar gets into the frame, and he's like, I don't want that smoke again. And then he just walked away, which I thought was great. He's like, I don't want that smoke again. So then he walks.
What gets me the most about Brock? I saw an interview with him, and he seemed legit nice and friendly, but now I know what I know, and I'm like, stay over there, mate. Fuck off.
Perspective. Y'all know what happened, and you know where we're going. But the allegations, because of the whole Vince McMahon thing. Here's the problem with the IWC. Oh, with everything that's going on with Paul Heyman, maybe we could get Brock Lesnar in there. No, we don't need him. We really don't need him. Like, there's this campaign of, like, Brock Lesnar coming back. After the match with Cody, and again, we're talking about Brock back in the day, awesome. But Brock now, 47, that match with Cody was a perfect swan song. We don't need Brock Lesnar back right now with everybody.
The thing is, though, the charges were dropped against Vince, so they'll probably get dropped against him too. Who knows? It's all bullshit.
But when you look at the
nasty,
yes, when you think of the nasty, when you think of the embodiment of a Brock Lesnar career, MMA, UFC, the guy can do everything except for football, because the football thing didn't work out too well when he tried out for the Minnesota Vikings. The football thing, not so much.
There's probably a reason for that, because he's too fucking big for it.
Well, I mean, after that, they get to go to Japan and become IWGP champ and face Kurt Angle and Giant Bernard and Nakamura. Poor Nakamura got squashed. Yeah. Poor Nakamura got squashed by Brock back in New Japan.
He did.
But no, I mean, I look at this. I think this was a perfect.
Didn't he squish everybody, to be fair?
Yeah. I mean, he told Heath Slater, I don't give a shit about your kids, and then killed poor Heath. So,
he sure did. Boy, did he.
I mean, he killed poor Bo Dallas when he's like, I believe. And then poor Bo Dallas went to Suplex City. He didn't believe.
He didn't believe.
You know
what? No. Bo Dallas could stay well away from that.
So the Hardy Boys feud with, now here's what I'm going to say before, because again, folks, this match was just perfect for the hope spots and everything. Go back and watch it. It's a classic, and I wanted to watch this, and I'm glad we got to watch this since Backlash just passed. But I got to say this. We have to talk about the video package before this match, because Nicola, your face. And I'll go to Rob after this, because I got to get the female perspective here. So first of all, I would like to point out the fact that Paul Heyman was once Lita's boss is absolutely hilarious, because for those that don't know, Lita was Miss Congeniality in ECW towards the later end of ECW. She used to manage Danny Dorian, Amish Roadkill, and that was that whole package. So Lita used to be employed by Paul Heyman. And watching this of the fact that he took her thongs, and threw them out to the crowd everywhere. Again, you know whose idea this was. God damn it, take her thongs! And we had all of that whole smorgasbord here. I'm sorry. I can't help you. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. But yeah, God damn it, take her thongs. So Paul Heyman's just throwing the thongs out here. Not like mi amigos, but he was throwing those thongs out there and pretty much said, hey, if you want to play me to play nice or do you want to play rough? It depends on how you play with me. And then he goes, you like it rough? So do I. Very creepy. I understood what they were going for, but God damn it. Looking at it now, oh.
God damn it.
Lita and Paul Heyman. So I'll let Nicholas start after watching the thongs be thrown.
Oh, I wanted to literally get a baseball bat and smash him around the head with it. Seriously, that was like so disrespectful, but I get what they were going, but still, perv. And the worst part is he played into it so much that it actually made me hate him. And I actually sat, didn't I? While I was watching, I went, I fucking hate him. I want to hit him.
That's the beauty of
I mean,
it.
he had the underwear in his pocket, and it was like, oh, I was waiting for him to literally sniff them and then go, oh, yeah.
You know what it is? All right, we're going to put this into the forefront.
Fucking pervert back then, but then again, he's getting battered left, right, and centre now, so whatever, Paul Heyman. Fuck
Well,
off.
let's talk about pop
Dirty
culture.
old man.
It's like pop culture reference. White chicks. Dude, I'm just sniffing some chicks' panties. They're guys, aren't they? Well, you really are disgusting. That's what it reminds me of, the white chicks type of vibes, man.
I love that film, especially when
Yes.
Terry starts doing the dance. I love that dude, Terry. He's funny.
You know, it's kind of scary that I kind of thought the same thing. I was expecting him to go, you like to play rough? So do I.
Did you like the story that we got into this before Matt got killed on the stage, Rob?
That was kind of like, holy
Fun.
shit. We wouldn't be doing that now.
No. No, we
No.
would not.
Think about it. What else were they doing back there when they had Edge doing something in the middle of the fucking ring on a bed?
The live sex
They wouldn't be
celebration.
doing-
Live sex
They
celebration.
wouldn't be doing this shit now because it's just a different era and everything's like, yeah, no. Just no.
You really kind of get a perspective on how wild the WWE
Who was the
that
biggest
we grew up
pervert in
with.
the room? Yeah, who was the biggest pervert in the room? That's right, Vince. How did he come up with all these fucking... Then again, like we said, we know a lot more about his weirdness now as well.
I don't know. Johnny Ace is up there.
Johnny Ace
too.
is up there, too. John Laurinaitis. Oh, God.
Can't we just put them in the room together and just set fire to them?
Well, this is the same John Laurinaitis. Like, we got a problem here, AJ. You know what? Nobody wants to fuck you. Like, come on. How can we market you? You're wearing your Chuck Taylors? Like, first of all, like, literally put it like the fact that we got a problem here. Pretty much saying you're not pretty enough that the guys want to fantasize and have sex with you. That's great. That's really good self-esteem to tell AJ Lee. That's great, Johnny.
That's another thing. Digging at women when women, not all of us have confidence when it comes to people like proper body shaming us and saying shit like that. If that was me, like I said, fat demon dead.
Well, the thing, too, is you have AJ Lee, who at the time was a different look. Who cares? Like, the girl likes to play video games. She wears Chuck Taylors. It's perfect. It's a nice little different mix, and it's good to be different and very unique. Like, a lot of people didn't look like look at Molly Holly, for God's sake. She wasn't doing a lot of the bra and panty stuff, but Molly Holly could work. She was fantastic. She went out there and did her thing. Mind you, this was at the time when somebody, and I'm going to say Vince, had Trish Stratus strip her down to her underwear, and Molly Holly wore granny panties. So you had Molly Holly being the granny panties girl in 2002. She went from being Mighty Molly to the Hurricane. What's up with that? To granny panties. God damn it, we're going to put her in granny panties. Like, who thinks that's funny? Get the granny panties.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I
well,
keep forgetting this is what we grew up with. And it's
Yes.
like we didn't put like bat an eyelid to it. But now as adults we're like,
oh,
the
God.
fuck did we watch back then?
Well,
Yeah.
And didn't even think about it.
The fuck is wrong with us now?
yeah, well, this is 2002.
Many things.
Many
Many
things.
things.
It's a whole nother show.
Whole
for
other
another
show,
time.
another time.
We're not going yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a bad thing. That's a good
It's a
thing.
good thing. Positively DDP. Jesus.
By the way, I've got to have a word with him about poking me in the end of the last freaking show because I froze. Yeah, I'm getting you back for that.
If you didn't see our last show, Nicola froze, and we were doing our outro, and then I'm just Rob's doing this because
No,
somebody.
Rob fell through the screen. It looked like he was actually like falling this way. And I kept laughing after I saw it. I was literally in tears going, oh my God, that's just so fucking funny.
Our shenanigans here.
Also bad weather, but yeah, no, we do sometimes. We do freeze a lot, mainly me.
But no, I mean, 2002 was a very weird time. You also have to understand this is the same year as the Billy and Chuck wedding, Eric Bischoff's Raw presents HLA, Rosie and Jamal beating up the lesbians, the Katie Vick angle. Rest in peace, 3-minute warning.
Oh man, why do I remember that so?
Lillian, I mean, well, look at this.
The word lesbian came in there. That's why I remember it.
Yeah. Well, also because like Eric Bischoff, who was all right, there we go.
Oh,
Eric
fuck
Bischoff,
that.
who was the GM of Raw at the time, had everybody who was boring. Wait a minute, did I just hear myself say 3 minutes? And Rosie and Jamal who going to be Umaga, and of course Rosie, the brother of Roman Reigns, will come out. They beat up Lillian Garcia. They beat up the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. They beat up the lesbians, and they beat up Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. Like they beat up so many people, and of course our very own Jeff Hardy. And it was bad, but yeah, no, that was a time. 3-minute warning.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then
What a trooper Lillian was for taking
that Samoan drop was brutal.
That was
Lillian Garcia. But that's the thing, too. You had Lillian Garcia and Howard Finkel feuding over who's going to be the announcers, and you had Lillian Garcia in an evening gown fighting Howard Finkel in a tux, and he stripped Howard Finkel down to his red underwear, and Howard Finkel ran away, God rest his soul. But this is what we had in 02. This is the stuff we had, man. And, of course, we mentioned Katie Vick, which you can fuck right off. Vince McMahon again.
all the way. All the way,
because necrophilia is funny. Louder, damn it, louder! Scream louder! It's a funeral going on in the next room, Vince.
Sorry, I've got a moth trying to fly around my head right now.
Yeah, you're
What the
fine.
fuck?
But yeah, that 2002 is a crazy year. But I also have to put this into perspective. So we go from Brock Lesnar killing Jeff Hardy. The feud doesn't stop because then we go into Judgment Day when the Hardy Boys take on Paul Heyman. Yes, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman in a tag match, and you can see it on the records. Brock Lesnar F5's Jeff Hardy, who wants to tag Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has a pinfall victory over Jeff Hardy on pay-per-view. On pay-per-view. Oh, and then it continued into Insurrection, where the Hardy Boys would beat Brock Lesnar and his tag team partner, Sean Stasiak, aka the former Meat, if you're the Attitude Era. Yes, and WCW. This is when he was doing that Planet Stasiak gimmick, where he was crazy and he talked to the planets and was talking to the sky and whatnot. And the Hardy Boys won that match.
That's me in this little group.
Yes. You're a little crazy act from Planet Stasiak. Yeah, so the Hardys would beat Brock Lesnar and Sean Stasiak, and this was at Insurrection 02, which was the infamous plane ride from hell, which gave us one of our favorite lines. You want to see my dick?
You want to see my dick? Woo!
Yeah, and then we turned it into now.
Suck my dick. Suck my dick. 3. So
actually, you said it 2, so now it's actually 4.
Yes, 4. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you. Suck my dick.
You're welcome. It got sad now. We're just not all in the group.
But yes,
Come on.
the plane the plane ride from hell. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. We're all mad here. We're doing something.
Suck my dick.
Suck my dick. 6.
There we go.
There you go.
7.
This is 7. There was the plane ride from hell where Ric Flair said, "You want to see my dick?" to the flight attendant, and then Tommy Dreamer, and then Tommy Dreamer and friggin' Mike Chioda got crucified from that dark side of the ring. I was like, that's just what the boys used to do back in the day.
Yeah,
you have to understand it was Ric Flair. I'm like, it shouldn't have happened in 2002. It shouldn't happen ever.
They came after Dreamer for that big time.
They did. What's Dark Side of the Ring? You'll find out more. I hated that episode. It was fucking horrible. There's a lot of them that I hate, but that one was one that I was like, why am I watching this shit?
Yeah, the plane ride from hell was ridiculous. Poor Scott Hall, God rest his soul, was all pilled out. Goldust was drunken serenading his ex-wife, Terry Reynolds, Marlena. Michael Hayes almost peed on Linda McMahon, and he was drunk. X-Pac cut the ponytail off of Michael P.S. Hayes. Ric Flair, like we mentioned, and also this was the same plane ride from hell.
And then when he started flashing everybody, and then Tommy Dreamer was like, "Yeah, I did see it happen. I didn't say nothing."
That's Ric Flair. Yeah.
It's just what the boys do.
What the boys do. No, Tommy.
No. Is that what we all do now? Is it? No, you don't do it.
No, I think the best probably.
Don't go to jail.
Yes, I think the best. the best part was the tribute to the troops, though, when Joey Styles knocked out JBL will always be the best one because Joey Styles was like, but do you remember what also happened that friggin' also pissed a lot of people off on that one? So apparently JBL poured a drink on Lillian Garcia or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm like, that's not funny. Like pouring something on a woman. You stay classy, JBL. And then Jen Lillian just took it because she's like, you know what? Fuck this. He's going to do what he's going to do. But Joey Styles wasn't having it. And he rear backed and, oh my God, punched JBL right in his face. And gave him a black eye. And it was visible on TV the next Raw. Oh my goodness gracious. You go, Joey Styles. But, yeah, no, that was how wrestling was back in 02 and that era. I mean, this wasn't the plane ride from Oh, this is Brock Lesnar was on this, too. Remember, he got to fight Mr. Perfect.
We got to fight with Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, and, like, freaking, like, Brock, do you really want to go? I know Mr. Perfect as well was older, but still, Mr. Perfect could whoop some ass. Kurt Hennig was not no slouch. Not at all.
Not at all.
Do you remember the NWA pay-per-view after this? Because he was on TNA, and he goes, yeah, that's right. I took down Brock Lesnar on that airplane, and he was bragging about it on TNA.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, thinking, okay, at least someone took him down, I guess. But
yeah, but that was the time period, man. So then Brock, of course, would go on to win the King of the Ring and then become the undisputed champion at SummerSlam, beating The Rock, which a young Mike Larkin was in attendance at, which was a wild experience. This was also around the time where he ended Hulkamania. The blood of Hulkamania was on his hands.
Thank God.
We mentioned it in the last show. If you want to go back and watch, because some people can fact check you, Hulk, about what the hell you say, brother.
But that was the funniest line of the whole show when Rob went, we can fact check you. It's just like
Benjamin Shelton.
But yeah, then Brock, of course, would go on to feud with the Big Show, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and then a year and a half later, he would leave WWE to go for the NFL in that god-awful match, which I was also in attendance at for Brock and Goldberg. You sold out. Stone Cold. And they were all chanting for Stone Cold and just...
Oh, you're lucky. I'd love to see the match with all them in. Stone Cold anyway.
That match was god-awful.
It was bad. I sat there as a 12-year-old. I'm like, this is horrible.
This
horrible. It's just terrible.
Even at 12, you could tell it was terrible. That's just a lot.
And people, you didn't know about the dirt sheets reported that Brock Lesnar was going to the NFL. Goldberg was leaving because he was tired, and I think he went to do some Japan matches. But just even watch it. It wasn't good. They didn't care.
They didn't care at all.
They didn't care. I mean, you hear Goldberg yell, fuck these people. And Nikla just said, fuck this show. I'm out. I'm leaving it in.
She's not going to have any Goldberg slander in here.
I will not have any Goldberg slander in here.
Will not tolerate it.
I will not. You're next. God. But yeah, no, I will get her back in a minute, folks. But yeah, no, that whole entire arena, you sold out. This was the early stages of like PW Insider and what we would see now. But yeah, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, like his first run was good until when he when he got the boo-boo face, when he lost the title, and then he started facing like Hardcore Holly and all that. You could tell Brock was kind of going down after that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jeff. Yeah. And then I mean, Jeff, of course, we talked about his first run where he would get released in 03, but I mean, this right here, and I've always said this, it was so funny because 02 also gave us Jeff and The Undertaker, where he was talking about phoning in that match. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you phone that match in, that was one of Jeff Hardy's best matches, which is crazy to even think if he actually phoned that in. Welcome back, Sunshine.
Like the weather. Whatever. Sorry, my bad.
No, we were just talking about Brock Lesnar, how his run came to an end. We mentioned Goldberg, and that would be the end of his first run when he lost the title to Kurt, and he kind of had the boo-boo face going. But, of course, it gave us one of our greatest moments of Eddie Guerrero beating Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. And Jeff had already been out the company because of his demons, and his last match was in April of 2003 against The Rock.
Wasn't me, by the way, just clarifying. I wasn't that demon.
Not that demon. Not that demon.
I am one, though.
His last match was against The Rock. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Dwayne, you can fuck off.
No.
Dwayne, this is for you. And yeah, that would be his last match. And then, of course, Jeff Hardy would get booed out of the building because this was the first sighting of Willow when he debuted for Ring of Honor, and he got booed out of the building. And they said,
that was so fucking stupid, that was.
Yeah, that Will o' the Wisp at Ring of Honor in 03 where everybody chanted, you got fired, and booed Jeff Hardy out of the building. That poor guy.
And then he goes to TNA. And
he went to TNA and got cheered against AJ Styles, and it was great. But yeah, no. the trajectory of both of their careers. Again, if y'all have not seen this match, go back and watch it. It still holds up. And we appreciate you listening to our zaniness and our look back at the era of 02 and the ruthless aggression era and how everything just ages so badly from when it was back in the day to what it is now. Like, what the hell were we thinking? But what we were thinking, we're giving you this doggone show. And I appreciate these two crazy sons of guns and this crazy mortal here talking about the fine art that is professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of art, we are going to go with some more art in our next match review. I'm going to put it up here, even though I got a black art. I'm going to put it up.
Well done, mortal one.
Yeah. So our next one, we are going to move from the WWF/WWE realm to the Ring of Honor realm, as we are going to take it back to Ring of Honor 2005, the Dream Match, or as I like to call it, DMLD. And you know what that stands for? Dave Meltzer's Wet Dream, DMWD.
Clean your fucking office.
Clean your fucking office, Dave. I joke because this was one of his.
We don't.
I don't. But no, this was well popular for the Dave Meltzer 5-star match rating, and it's a very good match, and I look forward to watching it with these two. And I don't know if you saw it, but Rob, have you also seen this match as well before I say what it is?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
I don't know what one it is.
We are going to look back at the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, against legendary Japanese wrestler Kenta Kobashi.
Don't know. Maybe not. Not sure.
This one.
Oh, y'all!
This might be one of them ones where I react to and you both laugh at me because I sit there going,
yes,
oh.
Yes. So this will be a first timer for Nick, and this will be a second. I haven't watched this match in like the longest either, so this will probably be your first time in years, right, Rob?
I watched it probably about 2 or 3 years ago, actually. Okay. So
yeah, it's a classic. It's just these two beating the crap out of each other. This is prime Samoa Joe. This is just what everybody wanted to see. Ring of Honor gave it to him from New York, and we will be talking about Samoa Joe and Kenta Kobashi-san. Oh, it's gonna be good. So and we can also dance to Samoa Joe's theme song, because for those that don't remember, LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out" was Samoa Joe's Ring of Honor theme. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Oh, and you get to see a very young Jay Lethal there as well before he was, Black Machismo. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why does it sound creepy as well? Oh yeah. It sounds like the dude off Family Guy that jumps through the wall and goes, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so that will be our next watch along as far as matches go. And then after that, because I'm going to say after that, because you brought it up, and this is Nicola's fault. Not really, though, but it is. So, not really, though, but it is. We are going to watch a 4-year anniversary of probably what some people call the worst ending of Raw, one of the worst segments in the history of WWE Monday Night Raw in its 20-plus years of being on the air. Dare I say 30-plus years, excuse me. We are going to watch back Alexis Playground with special guest, Shayna Baszler.
Oh, yeah, I did bring that out. We did. I did bring that out. You know what, though? Okay. Yeah, this is all my fault. My bad. Hold my hands up. But, that really? We're going to cringe.
Yes, but it's going to be fun and it's worth it. Not everything on here, this list is going to be good, where it's going to be some dad and cringe in there.
I'll make sure I got my Lilith t-shirt on for that one just to make it more funnier.
So that would be after Samoa Joe and Kobashi. And yeah, so with that being said,
I want to go to a playground, just saying. I want to go sit on that swing and just be like, yeah, let's hang out. So I don't have to. I've got my own doll, so yeah. She's not giving me daggers this time. She's kind of like, we're on good terms.
So with that
Another
being
30
said,
minutes.
So with that being said, check out our next predictions, because we're going to be back next week, because of course there's predictions. So we are going to be having a double dosage of predictions, because May 25th, NXT Battleground, headlined by Obafemi against Miles Bourne. If y'all have not caught that promo, Miles Bourne.
Good job.
Don't just give a clap for Miles Bourne being an inspiration. Look at me for my ability, not my disability. Let's just not beat around the bush. I'm partially deaf. It affects my speech, but guess what? I'm here. I can hear y'all. Y'all been cheering for me. I hear you. Got me right here. I'm not gonna lie. That got me a little emotional there, Roberto. It was good. It was very
good. It was very good. Very good.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'll send it to you afterwards. It's good.
His dad, Randy Orton, should be proud.
It all goes back to Randy Orton.
Randy
So,
Orton.
by Obafemi and Miles Bourne, Stacks and Tony D have
I
some,
just want Miles to hit it once.
the
Come on.
art. Oh, yeah.
Hit the pose just
The
once.
Rob, you gonna do the other thing here? We got Stacks versus Tony D. Huh?
Tony D.
Forget Tony D. Forget about it.
Your family. Come on.
We got
Tony D.
We got Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams for the TNA World Title. Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace, and so much more.
He can do so much better than me. I just got it.
Love it.
And of course, we're predicting AEW
Oh.
nothing, headlined by Anarchy in the Arena. Tony Storm against Mina Shirakawa. Yes, please.
I saw that promo this morning and just started cracking up. The fact she ran back up the stairs. She was like,
Buttercup.
fuck up. Yeah, that's one we use a lot in the UK because one of my actual friends calls me that every time they speak to me, like, hey, Buttercup. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And
Excuse me?
we got Ospreay against Hangman Page. We have the most random ass match. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin against Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Okay, sure. And we'll get to that when we get to that. And of course, Mercedes Moné against Jamie Hayter in the finals of the Women's Owen Hart. You know she's
Jamie.
I wanted to be Jamie, but goddamn. So we got.
I think Jamie is really leaning into this whole Scooby-Doo Daphne thing now because every week she comes out, she looks more
ridiculous.
more like her.
Oh.
Do you reckon everyone's texting? You know, the $100 text shit. Do you reckon, Becky Lynch had quite a good think about that?
Oh man, that was the best.
It was.
Do you reckon she's paying $100 to text her best mate?
We'll be talking about a lot of that next week. So we're going to start with NXT, and then we'll get to AEW because NXT is only going to probably have 5 or 6 matches, and then Tony is going to friggin' jizz it up with his 20 matches. So.
And probably add matches as we're
recording. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm good at saying that. Well,
I'm already like sinking, not like the yacht, but I'm already sinking inside. Not yet. I'm already sinking about talking about it, but we're going to have fun with that next week. So double dosage of predictions and a lot more coming. So Roberto Davis with your backwards cap, give me a Yadamin.
Yadamin.
Thank you. It's so good. I'm sorry, it tickles me. But you can also let us know where we can follow you and our socials. Go ahead.
So, if you like what you heard today, and we hope you do, as we enjoy making these episodes, you can follow us at Linktree/Blackhearts EBD3. The EBD stands for Everybody Dies. So there you'll find a link to my YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook, our TikTok. I don't know if I added the Blue Sky yet, but I will. Is it up there? Okay, very good. No Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. And follow us there. So if you do enjoy this format, we do have our friends over at the Max Wrestling Podcast, where you can see myself. You can see Mike sometimes. Maybe even Nicola will come on for a change. With my good brothers, Harold, Moses, and the DC. Kicking it with the TSK, we just recently released a WrestleMania review. That's going to be up over there. So Linktree/KITW TSK1. Follow us there. Follow me. And I won't give you a precaution like the demon is because it's okay to follow me. Linktree/HeyI'mRob. All my social media is there. Check out the YouTube page. We're getting back into some musical things, some guitar covers. Recently just put out a Killswitch Engage cover, Fixation on the Darkness. We'll probably be putting up another cover today. Won't be a metal one, but it'll be a cover nonetheless. So follow me there.
Now, Nicola McDonald.
Hang on. The t-shirt Rob's wearing, I want to see it. What t-shirt you wearing?
That's Jacob Fatu. Yadamin.
I've seen him play it a couple of times through the show, and I was like,
all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. Beat your ass from post to post. You know what I mean?
Dog walk your ass.
Oh.
King Kong and Godzilla, because I'm both of them.
He's so
What
good.
he said.
I think we covered. I think we hit all the Fatu
The font.
lines.
All we need is friggin' Tama to come back soon. And anyway, Nicola, where do we follow you on the social?
Oh, somewhere. No, if you want to follow me, go to Demoness there. That's Instagram because we don't do Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. Even though I still have it up there. And Mike will put my normal one down there because I still haven't learned it. I really have got to start learning it because we do this many shows and I still don't remember it because demon brain don't work. Everybody dies. Follow the Black Hearts. Go over to Max, see what everyone's doing over there. Not that the Demoness is around right now, but we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, everyone's gonna die in the end. Black Hearts rise. Everybody dies.
Hi, Nicola's mom.
Oh yeah, hi mum.
Hi.
Shit, we forgot to do that. Hi mum.
There's a lot of stuff going
I'll
on
be-
right now. I know she's fully invested right now with her trials and tribulations. So do you
Oh
think?
my, do not. Oh, she is on something right now. She's following something excessively, and she's still ringing me in the day, but because she knows I'm obviously still injured or whatever, she's like, "Oh, are you watching?" I'm like, "No, I've got a life. I don't care." But then we are all watching it, so yeah. But to be fair on her, we are all watching it, so I can't really just take the piss out of her because she knows that we're all paying attention to this shit too.
So the best way I can describe Nicola's mom, who I love very much and much love and respect, as we all do on this show.
Absolutely.
Well, we do love you, Mum. We do love you completely. We rip you because you let us. Yeah, massive love you, Mum.
All right, let's just put this into the forefront here because it really needs to be said. I mean, we do the bang and all
Yeah, we
that.
do triangles, all that shit. Yeah.
I gotta say this: when it comes to Nicola's mom and everything that's going on right now in this fine world, sit back, relax, put your feet up, eat some cheesecake. Now, with that being said, you can check out the YouTube. You can check out the YouTube channel S&M Network Shows. Subscribe to this fine YouTube channel. We're at 1.26 over subscribers. We appreciate y'all. This short's well for us talking about people, about friggin' everything that went on with the last pay-per-view and how really a lot of people like John go fuck himself.
You made Miss Ricky cry at that one, but with laughter. That's just funny as fuck. She's gonna laugh her head off.
You're welcome. So check out Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. Check out the weekly review with myself, Paul, and Dan, and he's also having some libations.
Hi Dan. Hi Paul. Hey.
You gotta hold on. I gotta put the joke on there. Dan and his libations. Do you feel him, sir? So you can check out. Do you feel him, sir? You can check out Dan and I do an Uncaged. We just have an episode coming out where we talk about the biggest missed opportunities in professional wrestling, and we have a lot going on that front. Robert will be coming on our next episode where we're talking tribute to the one, the only. Rest in peace, Sabu.
Where was mine? What?
Well, he invited. All right, you want to come on with us now while we're here? You want to talk about it? You want to come on with us?
Yeah, probably.
Fair enough. I thought you knew. My bad. All right, so we'll have the Demoness come on, much like she did with the weekly review, which was also great because we got to do that show and Nicola came on and all that good stuff. And then Rob came on live, and then we all just had a grand old time because it's what we do. We have fun. It's in the middle of the night. The freaks come out at night, to quote Houdini. Yes, I made the Houdini reference, and I had some cheesecake. With that being said, you can check it out on the Like with Mike Pop Culture History Podcast, LFC Podcast, Steve and Mike Show. Hi, Steve. Hi, ICP. No. Hey. Check out IceNet Pod and everything on this fine channel. SM Show on MCL92 on the Twitter, even though I'm still on the Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. You can suck my dick as well as Thundercat.
Yeah.
And you can
Yes.
Yes.
That's another one.
And you can check out SM Show 1 at MCL92, Larkin _92, and MLarkinMB on Instagram, SteveandMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com. With that being said, thank you. We appreciate you. For Nicola McDonald, for Robert Davis, my name is Mike Larkin. And, well, as we say now to end each and every one of these shows, to the yacht!